pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, 3.0 is roll call of school board members. Everybody's here and Dinger's absent tonight, so we do have a quorum. Let's move on to 4.0 communications and reports. So before I go to 4.1, I'm going to skip, and where am I going here, Mike? I'm going to skip to 4.3.2. We have a little presentation. So
yeah, so we have a special guest here tonight. Kurt Osweiler is the transportation director from Roseau, and he is also the region representative from the Minnesota Transportation, Minnesota, help me out here, MAP. Correct, all right. So they had their Train the Trainer conference down in the Twin Cities 2 weeks ago. And a special award tonight to present to our transportation director, Debbie Delisle. So if you want to come up, Kurt, and you use the microphone right here.
Come on, Debbie.
Do I have to face? Which way do we want me to face?
Your way.
Oh, they're right there. Look.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get cut off here.
All right.
So tonight I get to represent Debbie Delisle with Administrator of the Year. She was nominated by Nancy and Mike here. And we are greatly honored to give you this award. I'm honored because it's someone from the North. And it's always nice to see that the recognition comes up here. And we all know what kind of job you have and do. I get to know more because I get to out driving too with you, in the snowy days and stuff like that. So congratulations. We are honored to have you.
Thank you.
Come on, Debbie. Debbie, we'll take a picture and then we'll take a picture with the board members as well. So board, we don't have green wave recognition all tonight. Come up and take a picture. Congratulations.
All right, back to the agenda. Let's go to 4.1, enrollment update. Superintendent Colness.
Okay, so a spreadsheet was uploaded into board book for you to review. I was a little worried when I saw it yesterday because the kindergarten numbers were, I'm not even into triple figures. So it was concerning to me. You can see now that things are updated. Jody was back to work today over at New Heights. So at this current time, our estimated K through 12 enrollment is 1,879 students. We'll see how things go. We don't count any students till they walk through the door in the fall, but also there's been a lot of movement in the summertime. So we'll see how things work. But if you have any questions regarding the number of sections or that, right now you can see the enrollment size or the class size numbers in that right column in green. So hopefully we'll get a better handle of things later in August, but that's what the predicted enrollment is for right now.
Enrollment questions, board members? Let's move on to 4.2 finance update. Amanda?
All right, so I just have a couple comments. One, you might notice it looks a little funny this month. So the first month of the school year is always a little weird for how the financial statements look because we reverse receivables and we don't have all the money yet. So that's why things are negative in the state revenue. But if you look at the prior years, the same thing happened. So in general, the revenues and expenses are pretty similar to where we were at last year. The one big difference is in the purchase services line. We paid our insurance bill, which is a fairly large bill, in July, and last year we paid it in August. So that's just a timing difference. So then on the second page, the one thing I wanted to point out, our June 30th, 2022 numbers are getting closer to being finalized. There's still a few things that we're waiting for on the state and a few things that we have left to do. So our general fund, it was pretty similar to the year before, but I do want to kind of caution one thing on that is that we paid a significant amount of salaries and expenses with COVID dollars. Things that we would have paid for whether we had those COVID dollars or not. So if we did not have that, that general fund would look significantly different, and those funds are only available to us for the next couple of years. So just more of a cautionary information. But other than that, things are pretty similar year to date from current year to prior year. And I didn't have any other notes on there. And then on the treasurer's report, the only note I had is our Fund 4 balance went down quite a bit, and that's mainly because we had a large, some of our summer programming is already in there. And we received the funds for that last year, and I believe we'll get a little bit more, but that's why you're seeing such a discrepancy between the revenues and the expenses in that category. But that was the only note I had on there. Any other questions?
Questions on the books, anybody? Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right, let's continue on and move right into 4.3, administration and department heads. So go ahead, Superintendent Colness.
All right, I'll start off here with the recognition tonight, and we'll make sure Debbie gets a Green Wave recognition certificate as well, but congratulations to Debbie on that special award. Staffing updates, that spreadsheet continues to be updated daily. Principals did update there some openings that we still are trying to fill. Of course, we're always looking for paraprofessionals. We're always looking for bus drivers. We're looking for a business education teacher at this time. We also were continuing to advertise for special education. And but it's getting closer. We did interview 5 candidates in the last 2 days for the assistant principal job at South Point. So we'll make a decision regarding that position, and we'll be moving forward there. So the pieces are coming together, but you know, it's a challenge for everybody in the area as well. And staffing is a big concern for everyone. So if you have any questions regarding that spreadsheet, please feel free to get in touch with me there. Just some updates on summer maintenance projects. The CMS parking lot is complete, so that can be used now. CMS special education rooms, they're making some progress. Ron, you received some positive feedback from a contractor that we can actually do some work in the one room that we didn't think we could. Yep. So, but they have basically the DCD room has been torn apart and have the shower in and the bathroom fixed, and they're putting in tile. And so we're making good progress there. The conference room that's between the library and the district office, we found a contractor that could put walls in. So wherever we can find people to do the work, we're going to get that done. So, Ron, anything else on any other projects right now that are sticking out? Driver's education fee is up for approval tonight, and the recommendation coming from the community ed director as well as the driver's education staff is a $25 increase. So that'll go from $300 to $325. A reminder that we have to review our safe return to learning plan every 6 months according to the ESSER 3 guidelines. So that'll be taking place this month, and we'll bring that to the board meeting here later in August. And the district surplus auction of success. I was very successful, I thought. The 3 buses sold for just, I would say if you average them, it's about $3,000 a bus. The Impala sold for about $4,000. We were surprised by that big mower. It sold for about $5,500 or a little over. And then there was a motor as well that went for about $420. So overall gross sales were close to $20,000, and KBID will be sending us a check for just over $17,000. So it was successful. We were able to move some things out of the district, and I think people were happy with how things went. So, and that is all I have regarding my report.
All right, any questions for superintendent?
I have questions regarding staffing. So I looked at the staffing this morning, the spreadsheet. I don't have a link here unless I'm missing it, but do we feel like we have adequate staffing for, you know, like special ed and all of those things? Like, I know you're trying to hire for different types of categories and their names are escaping me, but do we feel like we have adequate staff, disregarding the paras?
I would say that we have people who are going to be working in special education that haven't worked in special education before. We are getting either out of field permissions or people who have a 4-year degree that are picking up a tier 1 license. Are they as qualified as a person who's licensed in special education, for example, in EBD? Probably not, but we're probably putting, we're putting the best people we can with according to the pool of applicants that we have. And we will continue to advertise and look for employees. I think that's going to be never ending for all of the people in our business right now.
Do we have enough for adequate class sizes for K-6
Yes.
or K-5?
And the kindergarten number, like right now, we have 8, well, if you include the super pre-K, we have 8 kindergarten teachers on staff right now. We hope that, right now we always look at about 20 kids a grade level or a kindergarten classroom. So we have those people in place. Chad, as far as staffing goes, we've hired a number and we have, right now, we're full with our elementary staff as far as classroom goes. Things can change. It can depend on if certain grade levels go up, and we're gonna have to adjust and, yeah.
Anybody else on the superintendent's report? Ron, are we staying in budget within this CMS parking lot stuff and
Yes.
special, hopefully we're getting money back from them.
Yes. We still have a fund.
Okay. So is that our contingency or, and
No,
I'm not,
and
I
I- and I-
apologize, I'm not on that.
Yeah,
committee.
and that was all, that was part of, before they started the project, we had those dollar amounts, and ICS did kick in about $23,000 for the project for redoing the CMS parking
Okay,
lot.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Board members, any other questions on the superintendent's report?
No.
I'll probably have one once we get to driver's ed, but we'll wait till we get to that in the. All right, let's move on. We can move right into 4.3, which is committee reports.
As far as negotiations go, we're hoping we can get together with the paraprofessional group. I know that their leader, who lives over by Bagley, will not be back home until August 12th. So she has been communicated with, and we're hoping we can set up a meeting sooner than later, because we would really like to get that contract taken care of before the school year starts. There were about 3 non-group contracts that are up for approval tonight. So we're down to 2 people there. So that should be the paraprofessional group. The admin assistants we have not met with yet, and then 2 non-group contracts.
Questions on negotiations?
And if the members of the policy review committee could stay around after tonight, then we could just make sure we nail down a date to make sure we get together within the next 7 to 10 days.
Thank you. Let's move on to 5.0, the consent agenda. So first of all, does anybody want anything pulled from the consent agenda? Pulled to talk about. I'm actually going to pull 8. All coaches, I'm going to add that to district business. The reason I'm doing so is because Tom usually excuses himself. He's on there as a coach, so we'll make that district business. So if nobody else wants anything pulled from the consent agenda, I'm going to make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Pulling number 8 and adding that to district business.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right. Let's move on here to 5.1, the approval of minutes. Approve the minutes of the July 11th. Oh, hang on here. This is messed up. That's all part of the consent agenda.
So it's,
So we're on to 6.0.
6.0.
Opportunities for citizens to speak on items not on the agenda. Superintendent Colas, was there any?
There were no requests.
7.0 is to approve the agenda. So what we're gonna need to do is we need to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented, but add 8.6, the hiring of fall coaches.
So moved.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 8.0 is district business. So 8.1 is policy updates. There's a load of policies that are uploaded in your board book. These are the ones that only one reading is required. I'm not going to read through every single policy here. We have a policy committee that goes through that. So if one of individuals from the policy committee would make a motion and then we get a second, then we can talk if we need to talk about any of the policies.
And I'll just make a note before the motion that, Nancy and I have gone through these thoroughly. The 100 through 500 series, all of those changes are dictated by change in law. So it's really, that's why our policy 206, I believe, allows us to make those adjustments in one reading. So we've gone through those in the red line versions, were also shared with the committee members.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any questions, or does anybody want to have any discussion on any of these? As the superintendent stated, these are all basically state law or federal law. All right, hearing none, all those in favor of approving the policy updates signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 8.2 is to approve the annual review of policies 413, 415, 506, 616, and 806. Superintendent Colonus?
Yeah, and there are about 10 policies that need to be reviewed annually. Several of those are in the 1 through 500 series. So these are the ones that are left over. There are no changes to those. They just have to be according to policy reviewed annually.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the review of 413, 15, 506, 616, and 806 signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 8.3 is to approve the 2022 and 23 driver's ed fee. Looks like it's going up from 300 to 325. So I'll make the motion.
Is it 325 or is it?
300 to 325, right?
Okay.
Just need a second, then we can discuss.
I'll second.
All right, so I have a question either, see Mr. Schumacher's out there as well as Diane. Is that enough? Is that, so that covers the fees even with fuel and everything? I know we have some donations behind there, but I just want to make sure that we're getting all fees covered and.
A lot of kids who behind the wheel, but not classroom, or the classroom, but not behind the wheel with us, so we kind of make a.
Oh, okay.
there, and so,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. Any other questions on the fees?
Nope.
All right, all those in favor of increasing the 22 and 23 driver's education fee signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 8.4 is to approve Civic Center Arena lease agreement. That's attached up in board book. Well, it's actually more than Civic. I'm sorry. It's for the high school's use of well, all
Civic,
schools use of Civic, VFW, Blue Line for the 2022, 2023. Looks like next year it's 105 and then it goes up to 110. And then 110 the following year. So I think we've always, last couple of years, we've been at 100.
Yeah, it went up to 105 this last year. So
And we had 1 year where we had to pay.
but there were 3 years where we paid extra $100,000 a year in order for locker room updates.
Yep,
Yeah.
updates. So
So are we voting for 3 years here?
Yeah, we're voting to approve this 3-year lease agreement. The only thing that would change is if there was some type of renovation that took place over at the arena. But this is I know the city approved this, so this was the recommendation coming forward from Reed at the city as well as myself.
And if that's the case, if there is a renovation, I mean, it's not that this is null and void, but they have to
Right.
come back with another contract.
Nope.
All right, I'll make the motion then.
I'll second.
Okay. Any more questions or discussion regarding the lease agreement? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 8.5 is to approve the 2022-23 student Chromebook contract. So I will turn it over to whoever wants to speak on it.
Mrs. Vedder.
We really only made one change of that is in the area of screens because.
Hold it.
Okay, we made one change in the area of looks.
Doing wrong? Okay, there we go. In the area of screen fees. So now even if you buy the protection plan, and you break your screen, the first screen would be $25, and then we would charge them the standard 50 after that. For a long time, we charged people for a screen whether or not they had the protection plan, but we met a lot of resistance this year. And it doesn't seem to be a big deal at any other school except ours, but we have a lot of broken screens in a year. And we're just hoping if they have a little skin in the game, that might slow that flood of broken screens. You know, even if you have screen protection for your phone, you're going to pay a deductible. And we're hoping it will, because it became pretty rampant. I don't know if Jason could tell you the number, but it was a lot. And so that's our reason for adding that fee, regardless of whether or not you buy the plan to cover the rest of it.
82 at the middle school.
There you go, 82. Do you see that? Yeah,
Like
it's
a
kind of like
one.
contagious.
So Jason, what does one of those typically cost? I suppose it depends. It's your time to put them on or anybody else's
Correct.
time, but plus,
And typically they're about $35 a screen.
Yep.
And the biggest problem over COVID was getting the
Yeah.
screens, you know, of people having it on hand.
And we just started getting access to the screens before we had to send them away. And they were out of commission a long time. We were up to over 100 loaners in use at sometimes at middle school last year.
well,
Yep. So if we can stop them and maybe just get them to hang on to them a little better,
Sure.
it would help.
well, we kind of went backwards. So somebody make a motion here and then get a second and we can have more discussion if need be.
I'll move to approve the Chromebook contract.
A second.
Okay, any more discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the 22-23 student Chromebook contract signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 9.0 is payment of claims and accounts. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I added 8.6, so I'm gonna make a motion to hire the fall coaches as uploaded in the board book.
I'll second.
I'll abstain.
So I got a motion, a second, and then Pache is stating he's abstaining because he's on the list. So any other discussions or questions? Is everybody comfortable with Tom abstaining? Otherwise, we can go the other Roberts rules and we can make a motion that he can't vote.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
Cobra, are we good?
Nobody more, no other additions that we need? Well, we could add that barring his, why don't we add that, Nancy, barring his
Background.
his background check. So that way, once the background check. Okay. You want to just add that?
Yeah, can we add them?
I don't know. Do we need to put that in a motion? You know what? I'm gonna rescind my motion. I'm gonna make a motion to hire the fall coaches as uploaded into board book and add, help me out, Connor Tice as assistant middle school soccer coach barring background check.
I'll second.
Question, any more questions or discussion on the fall coaches? All right, all those in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Now we can go to 9.0 and pay the bills. Eric's not here, so somebody else make a motion and read them off, please.
I'll make a motion to pay checks 123-194 through 123-363 for the amount of $1,296,726.63. And EFTs of $250,782.29 for a grand total of $1,547,508.92.
Second.
Questions or discussion on the bills? All right, all those in favor of approving the bills signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, 10.0 board member comments. Tom, let's start with yourself.
That was a quick meeting, but our summer's going just as quick too. So I hope everybody here has had a good summer. I know it's been rolling downhill for me, but Had a grandbaby last week, so it's been a good, good special week, but good to see the amount of people here and hope the staff is ready for what you have ahead, and we'll be there for you to support and help, and we'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, getting excited for the school year started. I'm sure you've all been thinking for a while, but today I was starting to think about it. No, just kidding. So, just hoping it goes smoothly to the first day and throughout the year, but yeah, enjoy the rest of summer.
Yeah, but I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, you got anything?
Comments?
Nope, I don't have anything.
I have nothing, so I'm gonna leave that because I'm gonna say in the next, we're gonna add a meeting here anyway, so. Good luck to all the teams that they'll be starting before our next meeting, so. Is it 15th is the day, so. Good luck to everybody as they come to their long and during August practice days.
So next Monday they start.
So let's go to 11.0. The next regular Board of Education meeting scheduled for September 12th, 2022. We have that in there as that's the one monthly meeting, but I think we need to schedule one. What do you want to do? 2 weeks from today? Yeah, so let's, if everybody's okay with that right now, we're gonna make the next tentative board meeting August 22nd. We have the Policy Review Committee has some things that they have to do. We'll have some potential hires that we have in there before the school year, so. Unless anybody feels different, I think. So,
We're gonna get our policy stuff done before then, Mike?
Yeah, I think we just need to make sure we get together here in the next 7 to 10 days. And
Okay.
all right, so. Rescind that statement. The next regular Board of Education meeting is going to be scheduled for August 22nd at 5:30 PM. So everybody kind of keep me in the loop. If that 5:30 doesn't work, we can always adjust it, but as of right now, it's at 5:30. And 12.0 is to adjourn the regular meeting. Somebody make a motion.
I'll second.
You want to talk about it? Questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor of adjourning?